To the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I'm very privileged and very thankful to be doing this role for the first time, the Sergeant at Arms role. For many of you who aren't aware, my role is to start the meeting. And before the elections, when Toastmaster Priyanka had given me a call saying that I should stand for this role and become the Sergeant at Arms, the conversation went as such. She said, Taran, I want you to become, and before she finished the sentence, I said, I'm not. She said, why not? Well, Lee, why not? I'm not. She said, what are you afraid of, Taran? Do you think people will get angry and throw their phones at you? Probably they might. But leaving that all aside, I'm sure that you may never throw your phones at me, but I do request you to please keep your phones on silent mode or switch off. I'll give you 10 seconds.
And we are looking forward for that. We are looking forward for that.
All done? And then the conversation followed. I asked Priyanka, but Priyanka, what will I talk about, Priyanka? She's like, hey, talk anything you want, Taran. As long as you ensure that you don't talk about religion, politics, or sex. Therefore, I request all of you who come on stage to not talk about religion, politics, or sex. Finally, I asked Priyanka, but what if they get bored of what I'm talking about and just walk out on stage and loiter around? She said, ensure that they don't do that. Your job as a Sergeant at Arms, that is my job, is to ensure that kindly please do not kindly do not step out on stage. And for giving me the motivation to come up here, I would really like to welcome this incredible person. She has brought me, in the 6 months, she has mentored me and helped me to come all the way up here. And in terms of profession, she is an engineer at Nokia. Kindly allow me to welcome our new president, Toastmaster Priyanka Rannorey.
Once more.
Thank you so much. Fellow Toastmasters and your guests, a warm welcome and a very happy New Year to each one of you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
I would now like to order meeting number 1410. I would like to call our Secretary Toastmaster Brian to share the highlights of the previous meeting.
Good evening, Toastmasters, guests. Meeting number 1409, the previous meeting, the last meeting of the previous term. Date 29 December 2023. The theme, Imagine, Believe, Achieve. Word of the day was undergird. There were 3 speakers, Toastmaster Vijay, Toastmaster Saloni, and Toastmaster Rashi, where the best speaker was Toastmaster Vijay. 3 role takers, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Taran, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sumitra, and Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Vijay Kalkundri. Best role taker, Toastmaster Taran. 3 auxiliary role takers, Timer, Toastmaster Amrit, R-Counter, Toastmaster Shreya, and GRAMMARIAN, Toastmaster Brian. The best auxiliary role taker was a tie between Toastmaster Shreya and myself. There were 20 table topic speakers, where 1 in a million table topic speaker, Toastmaster Srinivas, won the best table topic. There were 37 members present and 16 guests. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Toastmaster Brian. Fellow Toastmasters, the minutes of the meeting were shared to all of you earlier this week. Are there any amendments? No. Thank you. I pass the minutes of meeting number 1409. Do we have any guests who have never gotten a chance to introduce themselves before? Please rise from where you're seated. Please rise. Stand up. I firstly want to once again in person welcome you all and appreciate and thank you all for taking your time to explore what Bangalore Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters is all about. If you all would like to know about Toastmasters and Bangalore Toastmasters Club, I request each one of you to please connect with our executive committee members. I request executive committee members to please rise. You can reach out to any one of them for any information. And regarding the process, or how would you like to become a member of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, please do reach out to our Vice President Membership Toastmaster, Chaitra Chandrapillai. Fellow Toastmasters, let us together warmly welcome all our guests. Thank you. The theme for today's meeting is, even the greatest was once a beginner, begin today. What a theme to start your new year and your meeting. A theme that enforces a lot of hope that you can achieve whatever you want, whenever you want. Thank you so much, Vice President Education Toastmasters, for such a wonderful theme and to kickstart our meeting with such a thoughtful and hopeful theme. There is a moment that I recollect when I think about this theme. It was almost around 3 years back when I was having a discussion with my father and brother regarding my aspirations. We all have aspirations and we aspire at a certain stage in your life to achieve those aspirations. And one of such aspirations was not going very well for me. And I was very, very disappointed and sharing it with my father and brother. I was disappointed for a couple of days and I left it over there, did not ponder about it again. Couple of days later was my cousin sister's wedding at Palgota. So we all flew to Kolkata. And that is one of the best memories that I have, or one of the best memories I would like to share with you all when I visited Kolkata. We went there and I met this amazing person, a person that I can never forget. I was already amazed by their hospitality and their humbleness. And probably one of the reasons they were my brother-in-law's close relatives. So they took the responsibility of us. And it really went, my journey in Kolkata was amazing. It went really, really well. And I did not know much about this person, nor his story, nor his journey. But I was just amazed with his and his family. It was later, after the wedding, my sister did tell me about this person. His name is Krishna Das Paul. He, at the age of 60, decided to start a business, an empire. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of Bisque Farm. Yeah. So this was started by Krishna Das Paul at the age of 60. At the age when everybody thinks of retiring or whatever they've saved during their journey of their career, to use it wisely during their later stage of their life. But he chose to do something very different. At that very age, when a lot of people objected for this kind of an idea at the age of 60, he did not listen to anyone. This was one of his dreams that he had. Since he was a distributor with Britannia, Nestle and all these things, he understood how this business was And there were certain things that he wanted to improve about that entire business. And that's when he decided to start this business. And during that journey, he had a lot of setbacks. Whatever he had invested, at a certain stage, he lost everything. Everything means everything. He had his growing children who had to establish their life, but everything that they earned had to be put into that business to restart again. He was very persistent. He did not give up, and he decided, this was my dream. No matter what, I will restart and I will prove it. What I actually got to when I interacted or learned about him is the importance of deconstructing your disappointments or your failures and how to reconstruct. If I have to tell about his entire story, this time will not be enough given to me. But something that I will never forget or I learned from him is about deconstructing your disappointments and how to rework on reconstructing that into a success or achieving whatever you want to achieve. 2000, he started the business, and today the business is having a turnover of around 2,000 crore net worth. So this is something that I wish I could share this to him, that how inspiring he has been to me, though he's not there anymore right now. But his entire picture, my conversation with him, or how inspiring he has been to me, is very well etched in my memory. And wherever he is, I just wish that his blessings are always there with us and his family. His journey and his kind of struggle also made me realize when I went to visit the inaugural function of his factory at Karunakar Dev, somewhere on that side. When I get an opportunity, I will share more of his stories, but one thing that I would like to let to you all is, no matter however you aspire and things do not go forward, whatever you aspire, be disappointed. There's nothing wrong. That's what he also said. Be disappointed, cry it out. But start deconstructing those roots, why did it fail? And work towards reconstructing those failures into your achievements. And that is what today's theme says, you can begin at any point of time. I began after I learned that lesson from him, and I hope you all would also learn the same. And the impact that he had on my life, there was another person in this club also, had a very huge impact in my life. I can see one of the reasons I'm standing here. He inducted me as a member, and that's how I became a member of this club, and a Toastmaster. At many times, he's been one of the reasons who has helped me convert my irrational decisions into rational decisions. I give the credit to him. He is currently an enterprise sales director at Conversational AI. Ladies and gentlemen, he is none other than Toastmaster of today's day, Toastmaster Karunakar Dev.
Thank you, Priyanka, for the lovely introduction. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In a small town, nestled around the rolling mountains and whispering streams, a young kid by name Kazi used to live. Kazi was fascinated by the stories of modern artisans and their stories. He particularly admired and regarded somebody very highly by name Master Ranga. This Master Ranga was a renowned potter in that little town, and his craft, his pottery was seen around the places, around village squares, town squares, and everybody. He had a long and wide reach of his pottery designs. On one fine day, Kazi mustered courage and reached out to his master. Master Ranga, I would love to learn the art of pottery by you. Would you be willing enough to teach me the art of pottery making? Master Ranga responded with a twinkle in his eyes. Of course, my young kid, come to my workshop. And then, under his guidance, his designs evolved. He worked day and night, he toiled hard, he burned the midnight fuel, but then he realized the craft that he wanted to see was not developing in the way he was crafting. The mold wasn't perfect, the pottery skills were nowhere to be seen. Master Ranga observed the frustration in the minds of Kazi. He sat beside him and told him, "Remember, Kazi, even the greatest was once a beginner. You need to have passion, practice, and patience to evolve from your state territory." By taking this as an example, he worked hard again, he sought the inspiration from the nature, he molded his ways, days passed into months and months into year, he got stiffness and strongness in his design making, and he was able to create designs that people could actually admire. Same way, even our club had a very humble beginning. Even Toastmasters International began by a series of public speaking sessions. Rajdeep Smedley was the director of education at YMCA, and he found out there are people who need support, who need help, who need a helping hand to improve their quality of speaking, who can be more presentable, which can even help them in their career avenues. So he founded Toastmasters on 22nd October 1924 in Santa Ana, California. And our Toastmasters is founded in 1997. We are lucky to have Robinson sir, one of the founding members, joining us here. Could you have a round of applause for him? And a typical Toastmaster session has three distinct parts. The first part is a prepared speech, wherein every prepared speaker would have a distinct guideline on which they prepare for their speeches and come and deliver. And then we have table topics as well, as the second part, in which anybody from the audience could be called up on the stage and given up to 2 minutes of time to speak. And then the role of evaluation. Now everything you see here, every movement, every speech is being evaluated carefully by someone who is the general evaluator. And today, as a general evaluator, we have a person who has motivated and mentored over 21,000 students and executives over the span of 2 decades. A triple postgraduate and a PhD holder, he received a gold medal for topping both MCOM and MPhil examinations in Mysore University. He is a distinguished Toastmaster Rajdeep Manwani. Sir, I would request you to introduce your tag team, if you may.
Thank you so much, Karunakar, for that wonderful introduction. Usually the general evaluator was introduced at the last meeting at that point of time, but since we are beginning today something new, so I will introduce my tag team. As an evaluator, I have to evaluate the meeting as it goes on and have a bird's eye view of what is going on. And to help me in this role, we have 3 wonderful role takers. The first role taker is the timekeeper, a person who is a travel enthusiast who organizes trips. And today he is not going to take us on a time travel, but he is going to tell us what time each person takes. We have Ajay, shah.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters. As a timer, it is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting and its individual parts. For today's meeting, the speeches are 5 to 7 minutes in duration. At 5 minutes, I'll hold up the green card, 6 minutes, the yellow card, and at 7 minutes, the red card. Table topic speeches are from 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll hold up the green, at 1.5 the yellow, and at 2 the red card. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report to the general evaluator, and that's it. Thank you.
Role taker is the founder, president, and one of the founders of our club, and he is the only person to serve in all 3 capacities in the legislative, executive, and judiciary. One of the rarest honors for the Indian government. And people, when they used to see him, they used to say, correct. And he's going to be the R counter, and he'll explain his role a little better. Please give a big round of welcome to Rajdeep.
Thank you, Mr. Rajdeep, for introducing me. Good evening, everyone present here. Good evening. This is for the guests. Rajdeep has already mentioned my part of the role of room. The persons who come here and present their speeches, sometimes they use pauses where the pauses are not present. Second, use cut words and repeat words. It's my duty to keenly watch them and give a report then. For your information, until now, though I have been watching right from the moment Taran came here, I could not find anyone misusing this. We have to give them a big hand for all this.
Thank you, sir. As the grammarian, we have a very, very enthusiastic girl. She won the Best Speaker Award in the concluded term. She's a yoga enthusiast and a student of Bachelor's of Business Administration. Please give a big round of applause to Rashi Palgota and she'll explain it.
A very good evening to each one of you present here. As the grammarian, it is my duty to note the good and not so good usages of the English language. It is also my duty to introduce you to the word of today, which is nascent. It means coming into existence. And to use it in a sentence, in our Toastmasters Club, we are witnessing the nascent development of new leaders as they enthusiastically embrace their roles and responsibilities. I hope all of you use the word of the day, and I will be giving my report at the end. Thank you.
I will give my feedback at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, are you excited for the first session?
Yes.
Amazing. The first speaker today of the new term is attempting second speech from the presentation mastery part. And to evaluate his speech, we have a member who is a Toastmaster for a decade. He works as Head of Operations with Aranha Homes, family business of guest rooms in Bangalore. Let's hear the guidelines from Toastmaster and Aranha.
The purpose of the project is for the member to learn and review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to the...
Thank you. This speaker works in international development that engages in countries of sub-Sahara region, helping them in digital payments. He hails from Washington, D.C. and his speech title, Impossible, doing things that he previously believed he couldn't. Please welcome Toastmaster Jordan Sandman.
I like to think of myself as a pretty smart guy. I went to a great university. I have an impressive job. But my mind is never more devious, more clever, more cunning than when it is trying to convince me that I cannot do something that I know I can't do. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
In second grade, my teacher put forth a framework. He told me and my fellow classmates, in life there are leaders and there are followers. I desperately wanted to be a leader, but as I reviewed my life, I realized I was acting like a follower. I was following my friends in the decisions on where we would play, what we would eat. And I convinced myself that I wasn't just acting like a follower. I actually was a follower. I would always be a follower. Leadership would be impossible for me. From there, I was off to the races. I continued to convince myself of the inevitability of my weaknesses. My first day of secondary school, I sat silently, convincing myself and others that I was too tired to have any conversations. But really, it was because I was too afraid. In college, I began to understand my social anxiety. My heart would bounce around my chest like a ball in an accelerated game of Pong every time I even had a simple conversation. simple conversations, being a normal kid would be impossible. And it would always be that way. Public speaking was even more difficult. I convinced myself that as soon as I got on stage, everyone would know I was awkward. Everyone could tell my mind went blank. Everyone could see how nervous I was. And again, it would always be that way. I had to give 2 presentations in college where I went short of breath. I barely made it through the speeches. And after the second one of my friends came up to me and said, patted me on the back and said, "Man, you did such a great job." And I said, in my mind, "Really? That's total BS. No way. Everyone could tell how nervous I was. I ruined my reputation with that speech." And after that, I said I would have to change my career path. I would never be able to public speak. There wasn't any point in trying. But after college, I began to notice the cracks in the voices in my head when I went to rural areas, living in places like Kansas, Colorado, Missouri, to study political and cultural questions. Whereas my friends went to fancy jobs in fancy cities, I was shoveling dirt in Kansas, doing service projects in communities. Doing that took a lot of ignoring of voices in my head and external voices from family and friends, telling me, "Why would you go there? What are you thinking? You're jeopardizing your career." But what I learned is, in that experience, that going to ignore those voices, trusting myself, and going to Kansas was one of the best decisions that I've ever made, both personally and professionally. And so I've learned since then to start tackling those impossible voices in my head, saying that I can't do things that I want to do, telling me that I shouldn't try when I think I can. And so I began a warpath to start tackling those moments and to start putting myself in those positions. I experience those positions weekly when I go to the gym. I can expect the voices to tell me after 2 sets that by the 3rd, I'm totally gassed. I shouldn't even try a 3rd. Why even go for it? I met those voices on the plane to come to India, where I was basically asking myself, what business do I have coming to a country where I have no close friends, where I don't even know anyone or have anyone to call, and living there for 3 months. I even encountered those voices 3 days ago, where I stared at a blank page thinking about how to start writing the speech. Quit, my brain told me. You won't figure out how to come up with something. It's only 3 days away. I encountered them last night when I had a migraine headache, and my brain told me, just postpone a week. Priyanka won't care. She'll understand. You're underprepared. Why not just give it a rest? It's the holidays. What I've learned is every time I hear those voices, I stepped into what I call the impossible zone. And I used to think those voices were inevitable. They were indefeatable, indomitable. What I've realized is they capture you and try to seize on the feeling that you're alone. What I've realized is in those moments I'm connected to both past versions of myself who have conquered the impossible and future versions of myself who are counting on me to try my best so that I can perform in the future. And what I've realized is that I may stumble, but if I keep moving forward, eventually I will survive. And so there may be many of you who have experienced these voices, who have felt like you shouldn't, you couldn't, who have felt like you may not be able to. But I encourage you to think about this speech, to realize that we are in this struggle together, and that one step at a time, even if you may stumble, you will survive. Thank you.
Thank you for the lovely message, Jordan. As the second speaker today, our second speaker is attempting level 4 project 1 from Dynamic Leadership Path. And to evaluate this speaker, we have a Toastmaster who is a seasoned speaker, works with a digital experience platform Sitecore that enables brands to create personalized, engaging customer journeys. Please welcome Toastmaster Vijay Kalkundri to read out the guidelines.
The speaker is
Sumitra. Oh, I'm sorry, I just missed that. I thought the second speaker is fair enough. I understand correctly. Okay, fair enough. Okay, now we have Toastmaster Sumitra Manwani Menon to read out the guideline to the second speaker.
Yeah. The purpose of this speech is for the member, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Timer note, it's 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you. Now this speaker believes in sales heals, but service leads. He is a customer service coach, consultant and trainer. He has studied extensively on customer perceptions. His further research and analysis led to the theory in which he got the copyright from UAE Ministry of Economy. And his speech title is Complaints Are a Gift. Complaints are a gift. Toastmaster Gangaadhar. Put your hands up for him.
Complaints is that one word that nobody wants to hear, whether it's a personal life or a professional life. They just don't want to hear this one word. But having said that, it's the most valuable piece of information a customer can ever give to any business. And that's why they say complaints are a gift. Good evening to all Toastmasters, guests, and all those who do not wish to listen or hear about complaints. Now, given the paucity of time, I need to briefly move around what complaints is all about. It's basically an expression of dissatisfaction, maybe towards your product, towards your service, or something to do with the process, something didn't go right, a refund, for example. And why? According to the statistics, it says that only 4% of customers actually take the trouble to go to the organization and tell them that something was not right, they would like to complain. The 96% just walk away, and in good possibility, the 91% will never return. And you'll be surprised to note that of that, one customer who's made a complaint, you would have 24 similar customers who felt similar but never bothered to come and tell you. Because you've been doing your things in a way that you've been doing all along. So one complaint is like equal to 24 other customer experiences but never came to tell you. And a typically dissatisfied customer will tell 8 to 10 customers or friends and family, and today it's even worse thanks to the net. So you will tell everybody but you. So you are in a state of bliss and ignorance, you don't know what happened. And it takes 12 positive experiences before you can balance it off for one negative experience. But everything is not lost. 70% of complaining customers will return to you if you manage to solve the complaint in their favor. And 95% customers may be with you all along if you solve the problem on the spot. In fact, they can be the solicitors if you have solved the complaint. And I would always say, this is only time where it does not come wrapped. This is the only gift you get which doesn't come wrapped. Why would I say that? They are given freely by your customers. You don't have to ask them for it. It's a free gift given by a customer. Without his knowledge, he's trying to share something with you. And that's valuable for you if you see it in the right perspective. It's given in real time. Often than not, you all would have seen that if you're in a flight or even in a supermarket and somebody wants to complain, they say, go to our website and put it there. By the time you go to the website, you've forgotten it's over, we're finished. You probably will go and tell 8 to 10 people, but not the organization. But this is coming real time to you saying that I'm not happy. Take it, it's important. It reduces your market research costs. Once again, you don't have to pay them for it, they're coming and telling you. And they are those valuable people who are giving you a second chance. Why does a person come and complain? He says, I want to see that you improve. That's the reason he's coming and complaining. Otherwise, there are enough establishments where he can possibly go to any other place. He's complaining because I want to see that you do better. I'm not happy. It holds the key for customer happiness and for the business to develop. So it's got a twofold thing. We see a complaint in the right perspective. Now, how does one handle complaints? Because it's easy to say that, this is all great, they are coming as a gift and please go ahead accepting it and gifts come unwrapped and stuff like that. But invariably a complaints department person gets very disturbed when somebody is coming and screaming and shouting at you. So how do we handle complaints, which is a very, very important thing? You need to remember one thing. He is not upset with you. He is upset with a situation that he had to face. So keep that in mind. Don't take it personal. It's not me. It's something to do with the organization. Something went wrong. So that's the reason he's unhappy. Hence, control yourself and the situation. And as you keep practicing it, you will learn how to do it in a very professional manner. Once again, as I said, he's there, he's come, he's complained to help you improve. Keep that always in your mind. Listen to him with patience. Not only his words, his body language, and how is he, getting the message across to you. Keep a note of that, because only when you are patient and you are calm, you will be able to do that. Otherwise, when you're flustered, you would not be able to see any of those things. Focus on the problem, not the person. As we said here, he is not upset with you, but with the situation. Similarly, it's not the person, there's a problem with the organization, so work around, understand what the problem is. More importantly, respond, don't react. There's a huge difference in that, which we should have to take it up in another Toastmaster session. How you respond and don't react. Finally, people always forget this. Follow up, ask him, you are unhappy, how are you today? Are you fine? Have we done the right thing for you? Have you sorted it? That's the 70% of those customers who might probably come back to you. The 95% you've sorted it immediately, but the 70% will say, hey, the guys are not so bad. Let me try them once more. And more importantly, never pass the buck when you receive a complaint. Because when you send a customer all over the place, he is that 91% who will never return from the 96. So please remember, complaints are actually a gift. Take it when it comes your way. Thank you.
Toastmaster Gangaadhar, a powerful message indeed. Even I work in the area or domain of enabling better customer satisfaction by deploying voice, bots, and speech narrative. And I like to believe that my boss also listens to this whenever I do not meet my target. He's unhappy with the situation, not on me. Okay, moving on. As the final speaker this evening, I spoke about this evaluator already. He worked with that side code. So please welcome Vijay Kalkundri to read out the headlines.
Thank you. So the next speaker to come on stage is giving a speech from Dynamic Leadership Pathways. He's giving a speech from L4P1. The purpose of the speech is for the member to practice developing a change management plan. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to share some aspects of a change management plan. Speech length, I will please note, it is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to those ones.
Thank you. This speaker loves traveling and learning new things. A new beginning or development that he is proud of is that he is able to run 1 mile in less than 10 minutes of time. And some time back, say a couple of months ago, he wasn't even able to run for 100 meters. Right? His speech title is Asking to be Unshakable. Asking to be Unshakable Toastmaster Vishal. Could we have the
Change is the spice of life. However, sometimes it gets so spicy that it makes me cry. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. Change is hard. However, I have figured out a counter-strike against the unyielding attacks that it poses. Before I share with you the formula, let me tell you a story. A story of a young man. A young man who had dreams in his eyes and fire in his belly. This young man graduated from aeronautical engineering and he was the belle of the ball. He had 5 job offers waiting for him. However, he wanted to do something completely different. Something that had more competition than the DMs of the girl I like. He wanted to be an officer in the armed forces. So he rejected the job offers and sat and studied. As DTM Vijay would say, he was on top of the world. He appeared for the first set of exams. He was confident and he thought it was a 6er. However, when the results were announced, he failed. How could this have happened? Everything that he had touched until that point turned to gold. He was King Midas. He went on and some time passed. Finally, he got shortlisted for the Indian Navy. This process usually takes 5 days. However, he was sent home on the very first day. This was the final nail in the coffin. He was dejected. He went back home and cried. The second set of exams rolled around, and with a little bit of motivation from a friend, he appeared for them, grossly underprepared. However, to his surprise, he had cleared all of them. Now came the difficult part, the interview. In December, he appeared for the interview again. However, again he was screened out. But there was a huge difference. There was no crying. There were no weak knees. He banded together a few other candidates who were screened out, and he went around exploring the city of Mysore. If you're wondering who this ultra-talented person is, it is me, myself. What was the difference? In both instances, the change happened in a mere moments. In just 4 hours, I went from a person who had prospects to a person who had no prospects at all. How did I manage it? In preparing for the most difficult interview of my life, I had come up with a formula to deal with change. And it can be abbreviated as ASK or ask. First comes A. I ask myself, am I breathing? If the answer is yes, then I ask myself, am I hungry? If I am, I go have a little bit of snacks, and after this, for 6 hours, I don't have to worry about the basics. So, for 6 hours, I can work. 6 hours, I am okay. Next comes S or stop. When change gets overwhelming, I just stop. Stop thinking about it. Take a minute, a second, or even an hour to do anything else. Maybe go for a run, read a book, or smell a flower. And trust me when I tell you, I have spent more time on a task when I worry than when I take a few moments to compose myself and get back to it. Third is keep moving. When I say keep moving, I'm not asking you to go on a lifelong jog or an endless expedition. What I mean is keep improving. Read a book, go for a run, or do anything that makes you feel like you're improving. There's a small story I'd like to share, which shows how important the keep moving aspect is. Last month, when Toastmaster Priyanka asked me to take the role of Toastmaster of the Day, I immediately told her, no, I can't do it. And then when she asked me again, I said, give me an hour and I will decide. However, on Monday, when Toastmaster Joseph called me and asked me, will you be the replacement speaker for this Friday? I immediately said yes. He didn't even have a chance to finish what he wanted to say. What changed? Am I a better speaker from last month? No. What happened is I kept moving, kept doing something, and now I'm confident about coming up here and speaking. That is why keep moving is that important. Here's a bonus bit for you. No matter what happens, I tell myself and everyone around me, I am okay. Things didn't go as I planned. I say, I am okay. The exams I wrote did not work out, I failed. I come up and say, no, I am okay. And as long as I'm okay, I can figure something out. Toastmasters, my goal for dealing with change is nothing special. I just want to improve myself and monetize on the adventure that change brings. So, when the winds of change come towards me, I ask myself, am I ready to be unshakable? Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, replacement speaker Vishal. I remember when I had freshly graduated from my college, I had gone to apply for an interview. And I walked off immediately because I saw the huge line that was written that no matter how good you are, you can always be replaced. Right? So, moving on, it is time for us to network or communicate with people around us as we break for networking for 5 minutes of time. And once we come back, we'll have table topics and evaluation. Break for 5 minutes, begin now. Okay, it's time to see who the best table topic speaker is. But before that, I'm going to call upon the table topic master. And today's table topic master is a seasoned Toastmaster. He's a strategic technologist working with ConnectX. It works towards leaner, cleaner, reliable electricity for every home. Please welcome Toastmaster Somashekar, the table topic master.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Thank you for opening my LinkedIn page.
We joined recently though.
Right, CPU. What you witnessed till now whoever came to the stage, they were prepared. At least they knew what they're going to talk about. But now in this session, you can't be prepared for everything in life, is it? Once I went for a hike around with my friends, and then one of my friends asked, a tiger is chasing your wife and mother-in-law. Whom will you save? I said the tiger. Table topic masters, table topic sessions here, the answer doesn't matter. Okay? All you have to do is come here and stand here, attempt to speak on the subject. Today what I've chosen, the topics are very, very simple. And I'm not going to tell the topic because you're going to read. Now, as the new year is nearby, I'm sure you are up to a lot of resolutions. And so I got 3 boxes. One is what you want to start doing from this year. So you can pick up a sheet or actual topic from this one. And the next one is the obvious one. What you want to stop doing. Alright? So it's your choice. You can actually select whatever topic you want. And the third one, this is mainly for the ones who have a spouse or actually you are in a relationship, because this is something which the other person wants you to do. Alright? In fact, the box actually, when I picked up the box, it's a Om Shanti. That is a coincidence. Alright, so with that, let's start the session. Start the new year with the alphabet here. Please welcome Toastmaster Abhay Patai.
Okay, I picked up from the box of stop doing, and the topic is stop being afraid to say no. Don't take on more than you can handle. Okay. Now I will stop being afraid to say no, that I'm blank, and I will start taking on more. I won't take on more than I can handle. And I think that I had done this, I remember this incident where I had joined Bosch as a fresher, and my manager would come to me every week and tell me, Abhay, I've got to receive your estimations on what you worked on the entire week to fill in your timesheet and everything. And so Bosch had a tool called ATR at the time, which is called an addressable testable requirement, very complex stuff, but it's basically an Excel sheet. Yeah. So we had to fill in that in absolute detail, and it would take a very long 2 hours, arduous 2 hours to go through every point about what I had worked on and then put it in place, and it would throw out a number. And but I was a lazy guy, and I would fill it very in brief. So my manager came to me after 3 weeks and said, no, you're being very brief, and this is not the way. Look at your seniors, how they do it, and blah blah blah. And he gave me all sorts of gyan. And by the way, his name was also Gyan. So I being a lazy guy, I told him, look Gyan, it took me 2 hours to do this ATR, and so if you want me to give you an ATR in more detail, you've got to give me an ATR to do an ATR. So Gyan thought for a moment. I thought I had given Gyan some Gyan, and he stopped harassing me. So I started to, not be afraid in my corporate life and tell no when I couldn't handle too much right at that point in time. So luckily I've always been that way, and I would always encourage my colleagues who are my juniors and also my peers to stop saying no if they can't do something. So over to you.
Alright, just a reminder, sorry, I should have spoken to the timer earlier. So can you just tell the rule about the timing for the table topic?
For the table topics, it is 1 minute green card, 1 minute 30 yellow card, and 2 minutes red card.
Thank you. So 2 minutes is actually the time for that. Alright, so the next speaker is Toastmaster Kollappan.
didn't get more secrets from Punit, so a lot of knowledge on that. Advocate for environmental cause, support sustainable business, raise awareness, join environmental group. What? Like, I know our table topic master is an environmentalist because he worked with solar energy. I personally don't like solar energy because like you have to have many space. In this Bangalore urban, people are not getting space to live. How you can keep solar energy in Bangalore and then you can tell that we will become sustainable in energy in 2030. It's not capable. But we can go for other options like hydrogen or some nuclear energy because it will reduce spaces because more people are people like me. I came to Bangalore in 2016. People like me are coming to Bangalore to get good house and good dash and good and good environment. If I want to be in Bangalore, I need some good spaces. Good dash is not. I'm like learning from some people from our peers, so I'm not telling that one. So, like environmental, we can go for other technologies. It will be less time saving, and then you can get more spaces from that, so that people can move to urban. Like we can live a healthy, not healthy life, but like more drastic life. Thank you.
Talk to you later, Kolapan. Next speaker. So before I call upon the speaker, so when you open the chip, so whatever is written in bold, that is your topic. So what is written in the small letter, that just is a hint. If you really go blank, look into it. Okay? Just read the topic which is written in bold. Alright? Yes. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Chirag.
Relationship.
Pursue a dream career. So I'm at the stage where now I have to start planning for my dream career. So I think I've already told it in my introductory speech. My dream career is to be somewhere in a football related world. Like I love football, and football has given me so much. So in one way or another, I want to give back to football. So like my goal is to win a football career, and I know that I had a dream of becoming a footballer. But my dad wanted me to be an engineer, so that didn't work. It's not like I was some great footballer or anything, but it was nice now at least some way or another where I can use my brain or some statistics which I'm using right now, and using some stats, maths, now I have decided to become a performance analyst. So I'm doing some time, I'm seeing where I can go about it, and hopefully I can, be close to football and, do some nice work.
You want the speakers to pick up the same topic. No, you can just carry that with you. The next speaker, Toastmaster Imani.
Nobody's giving you options.
fiber, drink less, but yeah, there are times I just have phases. So there are times I think usually from Diwali to New Year I completely let it go, and then I end up gaining weight, and then I again have to get back to my fitness regime and start making efforts there. So I would urge all of you to focus on your fitness. I think it is really important. We can really not do anything unless we are really healthy. So physical fitness is really, really important. So if any of you, I'm sure all of us know this, but I would urge all of you to take this as your New Year resolution and focus on eating nutritious food and your physical fitness.
Alright, next we have Toastmaster Akash.
Thankfully, I don't have to pick this because I'm not eligible.
It depends.
Spend quality time with loved ones. Connect from technology, engage in meaningful conversations.
Say that again, louder.
Spend quality time with loved ones. Disconnect from technology, engage in meaningful conversations. Yeah, so what I have been doing lately is going on road trips with my family. So recently I visited a place called Epakshi. It's a place in Andhra Pradesh. It's famous for its temple. And the best part about it is not visiting the place, rather it's the road trip where you spend time with your family. In fact, my cousin who's a driver, he drives at around 160, 170 kilometers per hour. And I every time hear my aunt screaming, Rahul stop, and I take out my phone, record all that noise. So it's lots of fun going on road trips with my family. So that's something I've been doing lately, going on road trips, disconnecting from technology. In fact, I switch off my phone, leave my laptop, everything. So
Alright, now let's call a person who should pick the topic from this book. And that is Toastmaster Shashank Bhatt.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Let's go for a vacation.
So that is not clear from your spouse, okay?
Sorry?
That's a request from your spouse.
In fact, I am a traveler. It was 2016 where we were on a 7-day trip to Himachal. 2017, it was a 6-day trip to Sikkim. 2018, it was a 5-day trip to Jammu Kashmir. 2019, it was a 4-day trip to Goa, Gokarna and Kumta. 2020, it was a repeat trip for 3 days this time to Goa and Bangalore. And then I got married. What do you think happened then? I was enjoying with my friends, going on long trips, multiple connecting flights. And then once I got married in 2021, how am I spending my New Year's? 1 year with her colleagues, 2nd year with her family. And imagine spending New Year's when you had so much expectations. And now she has the audacity to come and tell me, let's go on a vacation. Where I was telling her, no family time during New Year's, no friends time during vacations, it should be me time or us time. And when you get to know, when you hear from her that, you know what, it's been a long time, let's go on a trip. What do you feel like doing in such case? This year, again, I wanted to go somewhere probably to the northeast. Meghalaya is still in my bucket list. And when I told her, we'll go to Meghalaya, she said, no, I have cold. So she started giving one of the responses. And then I told her, why not go to Singapore? Or why not go to Kuwait? Why not go to Malaysia? And then I knew what the response would be. I made sure that I should go to Singapore or Malaysia now. I was hell-bent saying I will book the flights the following week itself if you are really interested to go on a trip. You say let's go on a vacation. Coincidentally. I told I will book the flights to Malaysia right now for next week. Will you come or no? What do you think is the answer? No. She initiated. She said no. Guess why? She doesn't have a passport.
But hope you know that the meeting has been recorded. All right, the next speaker, Toastmaster Saloni.
Make decisions collaboratively. So, like we both need to make one decision, but that doesn't happen. So, this is something I can try to work on this year. So, we both have completely different upbringing. I have been brought up with lot of discipline and responsibility, accountability, etc. And he's been brought up in a way like, it's like he says something and it needs to be done. So I remember I was speaking to his grandfather, and his grandfather said me that what level he has gone to. So there was a death at home. It was like my grandfather's own sister's death, and it was a very moment where everyone was sad and they were crying, and I don't know what happened to Gaurav. He's like, I want to burst crackers, and everyone at home just said that it can't be done, and what will people think about etc. He's like, no, I want to burst crackers. I want to burst crackers. If you do, and he locked himself in a room with a baby. The baby is crying. He's like, you get crackers, then only I'll open the door. So at last they got crackers. They took him far away from like 10 kilometers, and they made him burst the crackers over there. So we have been, the upbringing is completely different. So when we have to make decision, I take logically, practically, everything, and he's like, hey, nothing's gonna happen. It's fine, it's fun. So we had recently been to a trip also for 18 days to Bali, Singapore, and Vietnam. And when we didn't go through travel agent, we planned each and everything by ourselves. And by the end of planning, we literally had our hands at each other's throat because he has something differently. I want something else, but we want to go together. So this is something I think I can work.
Good luck, Saloni. And the next speaker, Toastmaster Alok.
Get active and healthy. Well, I think it just gels very well with what I want to do every year. I think maybe a couple of years ago this was my resolution, but I don't think it needs to be a resolution anymore. Vijay and I were just discussing, it's just a part of your routine now. What COVID made us realize, I think in the last couple of years, is how important being active is, how important being healthy is. So I think after that, after COVID, I think it just became a natural part of me to stay active and healthy. Now I exercise about 3-4 times a week. I eat a lot of healthy food. Go on a trek once in a while. In fact, last week I was in the Northeast, Shashank. Yeah. I was in the Northeast, and we had a hike for a couple of days, and I was extremely satisfied to know that my legs, my bones were in the right place. I didn't feel even an iota of tiredness after the entire trek, and I didn't have the craving. Normally after leaving healthy food, after leaving your junk food for about 2 weeks, you have that craving for a pizza, or you have that craving to eat a lot of sugar and sweets. But I was really surprised when I noticed that I didn't have a craving for literally anything. I was content with the chapati and dal that were offered to me. So that was again a moment of reflection for me, and I immediately called home. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration. When I got network, when Vodafone finally permitted me to talk to my parents, I was satisfied telling them that, okay, whatever I've done through the last couple of years is really paying off. I didn't feel a craving for anything. I was healthy. I didn't have any pain in my joints or anything after having hiked for about 20 kilometers in 2 days. So, Toastmaster of the day or Table Topics Master of the day, then being active and healthy is as a resolution. My message to all of you is that it should be a New Year's resolution. It should be something that you're looking to do every day, and then it becomes a part of your routine, not just a part of your New Year's resolution. Back to you.
Now we move on to Toastmaster Kamalesh. Alright, then Toastmaster Puneet.
No, I'm single, so it doesn't make sense. Single, ready to mingle. Single, okay, fair enough.
No, single, already mingled.
I prefer single who's jingling. Make me laugh. Oh
yeah, come on, ready.
I still remember when I was 14, I had written a goal where I described everything I wanted in a girl. From her height, to her hair color, to her sense and fashion, to how she will be, everything to dot. With a date I written when I was like 15, my first year of PU. And I remember, now that I reflect back on it, on the very same day, I was sitting, if you know Jain College, you know assembly, where people sit and check out everyone else. I was sitting there having my Maggie with two of my friends. This auto had stopped, and two girls got off, and this one girl was wearing a blue kurta, white leggings, and my friend and I saw her at the same time. And I still remember he's looking at me saying, "That's mine." I was like, wait, that's not how we do this. Whoever goes and talks to her, she's hers. And my friend buzzed out, but I just stood up and I started walking towards her. I ended up saying her hi, took her number, and I started conversing with her. And she was exactly like my goal I had described. 1 month into this conversation, I said, wait a minute, I forgot something. This girl works with everything I've written, but she doesn't get my jokes. And if you don't get my jokes, you don't get me. and so I had to let her go, and I had to let the girl go as well. So make me laugh. I'm a very hilarious person, and I have a lot of spontaneous jokes that just sizzle up in the moment. And that's the beauty of being with a guy like me. So I'm still available and single. If you want to have a roller coaster of a life, yeah, I will make you laugh through and through. Yeah. Cheers.
So Kolappan, you know where the dashes and dots are. And the next speaker is Toastmaster Jeevan.
Stop wasting food. I first of all, Table Topic Masters and my dear Toastmasters and guests, very good evening.
Good evening.
I totally go against this word, stop wasting food, because I want to share a real incident that happened 2 days back. One of my friends who ordered a big size pizza, and he's so concerned about not wasting the food. So what he did is, even though his tongue was filled, he forced to have more pizza. You know what happened next day? Constipation. Yes. It went against him.
And he took a 1-day leave, met doctor, took medication because of food poisoning. So what I tell at the last moment is, it's okay to waste the food. Make sure don't put a burden to your stomach because your health matters. Before you intake of food, ensure how much you need it. With that small conscious effort, even you save the food as well as you save your amount and time but going to spend after having enough food in your body. Thank you.
Next topic for Toastmaster George.
Stop being judgmental. So, good evening, Toastmasters. Normally, guests. So, it's normal tendency whenever we meet a new persons or whenever we meet colleagues or something, within a 5 seconds, look into the verbal, their dress, the way they communicate, and non-verbal, we judge. And I also have the same tendency. But over a period of time, I learned not to judge people in a very distinct, but instinctively it comes. But I'm trying to avoid that because if it's a positive side, it will be good, but if it's a negative side, it will be going to the other direction. So we should take some time to be judgmental. That will build more and more relationship, and that will endure for a long-term relationship. That's it.
Next speaker, Toastmaster Aditya.
Come on, Aditya.
Stop wasting time on unproductive tasks. See, it's prime example right here. I took the long road to get more applause. Anyways.
Stop wasting time.
Stop it. Yes. When people usually pitch their idea or come up with a new startup idea or entrepreneurship idea, people usually give them a hard time. They tell them, you can never make it, these ideas are never possible in the free market. But for me, it's the complete opposite. People straight away give me the green light because I don't know what it is about me, but they tend to believe in me, which is fortunate. And I've come across my whole entrepreneurship journey from the conception in January 2023 when I first I ideated and came up with my idea for my company to start a personal training company. Because have you ever noticed coaches and personal trainers in gyms? They're always the happiest people to be around. They're always smiling. They're standing at this and smiling. And I wanted to be one of those high dopamine individuals, as well as take part my knowledge in professional bodybuilding. So I've acquired from competing in Mr. Olympia and Mr. Universe and all those competitions. So what I did was ideated and came up with a lot of ideas, a lot of healthcare ideas, and eventually I came up to the point where now I'm currently getting funding from Y Combinator. So during those ideation phases, I have a lot of unproductive tasks which come up, and I tend to focus more on those. And as an empathetic person, for example, my friend, he actually had eye injury, so I had to go to the hospital, and he sort of took advantage of me, and he used that as an excuse to hang out more. So I didn't focus on my company as much. So I tend to block out all the unproductive tasks now. And last Friday, I actually went to a gym called Meridian Fitness, where I met a pretty popular actor in Karnataka. Her name is Sumitra. So I had a conversation with her, and it was one of my unproductive tasks that I went to hang out with my friends, but I found something fruitful in it and made her my potential client. Thank you.
And the next speaker, Toastmaster Rahul.
What should I pick up? Which one?
Whichever you like.
Stop this. Procrastinating, putting off that important task until the last minute can lead to stress. I'm a software engineer. This is like the mandatory part of my lifestyle. There's something going out of my compiler's failing, something is going wrong. I'm always procrastinating. I can talk about my last issue I had. So I had to design an interface for another company, a small startup, and I had to give it for production before Jan 1st. But office suddenly decided to take leave and put everything on me, and they started shouting at everything, and it just went in the wrong direction. But somehow I just had to mediate and control them and try to console them and tell them to stop procrastinating and stop try to split the task and put it between two different sprints. So we stopped two different tasks, and then we somehow just handled and managed how it's supposed to be. So I think it will be probably next month. So procrastinating is something that we all do, but we have to. It's a necessary evil, but we have to somehow confront it with good time management, good ethics, and good behavior, good discipline, and making up. So I think that's all. Yeah.
Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nitin B.
Tabletop Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. A very happy New Year to you all. The topic is developing a creative habit. Yes, I have been trying to. Since the time we left the company which I was working with Soma, I was wondering what to do, develop a new habit. And then I realized that the most important part of my profession was finance. And I was interested in learning, not about the figures, as our earlier speaker was mentioning, but about numbers, and to understand the numbers. Not at the first look, as our Puneet was mentioning. For Puneet, it's the moment he has a goal, whoever he comes up to. But in numbers, in finance, it's not the same. You look at a balance sheet, you look at the companies, and you have a specific goals, and then you find out which meets the goal, and then you decide whether you need to invest or not. And this is a habit I've been trying to pick up in stock market, and for the last couple of years, and I find it very fascinating. It's so interesting. Like every day you learn, because the stock market is full of people who manipulate, who are investors, or short-term traders, or day traders. You can't imagine which way the stock market goes. So the beauty lies in judging and taking a call. And that is what I find it very creative, and also increases one's happiness apart from increasing the wealth, which enables me to pay the Toastmasters fees here. So this is what I'm trying to develop. I urge each and every one of us to pick up a habit which is constructive and which helps you, and basically which satisfies your need as you go along. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for the facts and figures, Nitin. And before ending, I have received a lot of requests, but this is the first request which came to me, so I don't want to disappoint him. But the trial manager, please go to just for 1 minute. Please, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Srinivas. So you have 1 minute to speak, Srinivas.
Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Maron.
Learning a new skill. Okay. All these years, my parents wanted me to learn something new, and I was escaping by playing cricket and all those stuffs. And finally, I had no choice. Like any Indian, I became a software engineer. But given a chance today in Toastmaster, what I would like to be an IPL cricketer, because 10 years what I have worked in software engineer, with one IPL season, with Dhoni or any Rohit Sharma, I can gain it. So that is one new skill which I want to play and play. If we don't qualify for India also, I think it's good enough to play for one Chennai Super Kings or Mumbai or Gujarat Titans, right? My life would have been settled. And as sir has mentioned, financial planning and financial stuff should have also been taken care of. So with this, I would like to.
Thank you so much for your time. As I clean up the mess, I invite our Toastmaster of the day,
for conducting such a fun-filled session. What do we give to Thank you so much. When I was young, I never believed in instant karma, unless I joined Toastmasters. You will get to see how we have failed in last 2 hours of time, as we have a hardcore but hilarious taskmaster as an evaluator. Toastmaster Rajdeep Manwani. Put your hands up for him.
Thank you, Karunakar. Beginning of the year, don't use the word hardcore, it means something else. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmasters of the day, don't give me the mic. Why are you pushing it away? No, I don't. I need you. Come. That voice echoes with that mic, and so many people think that the mic sounds better, but actually it sounds worse. Okay, straight there. Thank you so much. Yeah. Did it get down?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hardcore? Yeah. Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters and Toastmasters in particular. When my son was very young, he was in, I think so, 2nd standard. One day he came to me very excitedly. This is all about feedback and encouragement, what Toastmasters teaches you. And he came very excitedly and told me, "Daddy, I got 10 on 10 in my spelling test." And I said, "Yay, fantastic, you're a great son. I knew you'll never be like your mother, correct?" And he wasn't so excited. He said, "Daddy, I got 10 on 10. I said, "Yes, but you should be happy. You should be so elated that you got 10 on 10. He said, "No, Daddy, the paper was very easy." I said, "That's okay, but you got 10 on 10. He said, "No, Daddy. Actually, everybody in the class got 10 on 10. I said, "Don't worry, don't compare yourself with others. You got 10 on 10, so you should be very happy." And I was very encouraging. And he said, "No, Daddy, the paper was so easy. Even a donkey would have got 10 on 10. I said, "That's okay." After a few minutes, he came to me and said, "Daddy, even you would have got 10 on 10. So that is the true feedback he gave me. But as a general evaluator today, we have to, as a general evaluator, have to give a feedback for the meeting. And today the meeting started sharp at 6:30. And what I heard was all the writing was done on the board, everything was proper, and let's give a big round of applause to the new Sergeant at Arms, Taran, Menon, for starting. Shreya wrote on the board, and the entire team. And the most beautiful part was the previous Sergeant at Arms, Kolappan, was helping out with the whole thing. So we have such a big camaraderie. Usually people say, okay, we leave the matter here and we don't have to come the next week. But Kolappan came all the way and helped Taran Menon in doing the job. So big round of applause for the previous counselor. Taran, you were brilliant on stage. Fantastic. You connected what you had to say. You brought the meeting into order very well. You cracked a little humor. It pays to have a good mentor like me, right? So you talked about mobile phone and everything weaved into the speech. So a very, very, very good job, Taran. Excellent job. Fantastic. And I hope you keep maintaining it. I just want a small feedback from your side. Next time when you come and you tell the people that they have to get settle down, be a little more forceful. Because when you said, let's settle down, not many people settle down. But when you put it in order, let's settle down, just a little more enthusiasm to make people understand that you are in command. That will give a big fillip to the meeting. Besides that, a big round of applause to Taran. Then we had our dynamic president, for the first time coming on stage, Priyanka. Priyanka, I thought you were wonderful. I was very excited when you said that you went to Palgota for your cousin sister's wedding, and I met a great man, and I thought, my God, now she's hitched, correct or not? But unfortunately, he was very old, 60 years, correct? She doesn't have any grandsons or granddaughters, I don't know. But I think so, Priyanka, you gave a nice story, you gave a good way in which you started the meeting. And what I feel, Priyanka, you did very well was, for the first time, I thought this time that you changed the format a little bit. You call the secretary, and I think so that's a great thing to do, because many people you say call our meetings and most of us don't look at the minutes. So you called Brian on stage for the first time. You didn't have lengthy introduction of all the members who have come in for the first time. So I think so you think you had your own stand, your own individuality. And I think so having your own individuality as a president is a great thing. So please give Priyanka a big round of applause. We had the secretary, Brian D'Souza, coming on stage, and he did a fantastic job. He read out the minutes of the meeting. But you missed out one thing, Brian. You missed me. You read out the best speaker, the best table topic speaker, the best role taker, the best auxiliary role taker of the previous meeting. But you didn't say who was the best evaluator. You absolutely last week. Correct? Brian, you have to get out now. Correct? Yeah, but that happens. But I think so. It's a great tradition to start off, and it's a great way to begin. So, Brian, for doing a good job and reading out the minutes with so much confidence, please give him a big round of applause. Next, we had the Toastmaster of the day, Karunakar. I had a friend who had a child during Corona, and he called him Karunakar. But it gives me a little goosebumps. But anyway, Karunakar, you started off the meeting a little timidly by telling about the story of that Master Ranga and his disciple. I think so. That story gave a gist of what you wanted to tell. But what went really well for you was, you started off a little pensively, but when you went on to the meeting, the way you connected, we had the replacement speaker, and the way you did, all the introductions were fantastic. So for great introductions done, and for carrying on the meeting so smoothly, please give Karunakar a big round of applause. What I felt a little missing was one small mistake when you introduced Vijay Kalkundri instead of Sumitra man. But the point was, might be Sumitra man's introduction was missed. He didn't introduce, I know. Correct? Sumitra, are you feeling bad? Just hit him. Correct? Might be after she would have finished her evaluation. I knew at that time it wasn't possible. Might be after she finished Gangaadhar had been speaking, she was evaluated by Sumitra man, and you would have given an introduction. Because all the other role takers were given an introduction, other than the most distinguished first president of our club, lady president of our club, Sumitra. So please give her a big round of applause. Secondly, what I thought, Karunakar, was at the beginning you have to bring in a lot of Josh to the meeting. So So you told that story, but if that story would have connected a little more, and you would have told, okay, begin today. It was a mundane story. Might we add a little more zing to what you have to say? It would have been great. But otherwise, what a great job. Please give. Can I have water? I hope my voice comes out now. Now I need the mic, I think. Okay, but otherwise for a great job, you see, so I began in the middle, I didn't begin today, but for a great job done, please give Karunakar a big round of applause. I'm glad you kept the mic down, I think so, because okay. Okay, now there are two voices in my head. One is telling me to speak and one is telling me to call the evaluator. But the man who spoke in two voices, Jordan Sandman, and to evaluate him we have the inevitable Aranha.
So with the purpose to write a well-organized speech, which had a defined purpose, Toastmaster Jordan, I would like to congratulate you on delivering a speech that was impossible to forget because of its inspiring vulnerability. Jordan, your spoken language was clear and easily understood. You used eye contact and effectively connected and engaged with the audience. Every person in the room you looked at, which was wonderful to see. You appeared fairly comfortable while engaging with the audience with your exemplary speech content and organization, which clearly fulfilled the specific purpose of the speech with pinpoint precision. Your introduction, body and conclusion, according to me, was highly compelling and well constructed and fulfilled the general purpose of your speech. Having said that, Jordan, here are a few pointers that can help make your speech even more exemplary. Jordan, you have a wonderful smile. You should use it more. It would help connect with the audience, especially in the positive aspects of your speech. There was another thing that happened where, as you were on stage, there was continuous movement. And if you limit your movement to limited, just this and this, it would make it more precise, and it would also, like for example, your hand constantly did this, but if you wanted to reiterate something, you could do this, and it would definitely enhance the content of your speech. Lastly, Jordan, you had a great conclusion which ended with a very powerful, "You will survive." But you should have paused and then handed it over to the Toastmaster of the day, but you had a thank you in between. Avoid the thank you because it dilutes what you had to say throughout your speech. If you had said, "You will survive," people are thinking about it, back to the Toastmaster. Avoid that, that would have been thing. But apart from these minor things, Jordan, today your quiet confidence with a touch of nervous energy and masterfully inspiring content had us rooting for you till the end of your speech. Onwards and upwards, Jordan. Best wishes for your future speeches. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alan. That's why I asked the mic to be kept down. Right? Very nice, upward, onward. Alan, a good evaluation. It looked like you heard only very well done. But I thought the content and the topic was on the general and specific purpose. So I think so the evaluation should be restricted to the general and specific purpose rather than going into all other details. But I think so your general purpose was to talk about ignoring the mind, which keeps playing pranks on you. And your specific purpose was to listen to your heart. And I think so, Jordan, you accomplished that brilliantly. For a great talk and a great message, please give Jordan and Next, we had the man who was complaining. Means we had the man who talked about complaints, and we'll see what his evaluator, DTM Sumitra Manwani, has to say.
As a seasoned Toastmaster, if I say I'm beginning today, won't you be surprised?
Yes.
Yes, I'm beginning today to be more regular for the meetings in this term. A very good evening, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and to DTM Gangaadhar in particular. Thank you for your New Year gift and giving us a totally different perspective on taking complaints as a gift. I like the way you used the slides to present data. Well, that was a very good way of making your audience absorb the data. And apart from that, even the slides were well designed. And overall, the delivery was great, polished, crisp, to the point. And the way you opened this, the presentation also was catchy. And even, the title, Complaints as a Gift, really grabbed the attention. Now, it's my turn to give you a gift. Not complaints, but as an evaluator, I have to say how you could have taken it to a higher level. Firstly, I felt that, the research that you presented was somehow all cluttered in one slide. Research is a dry subject, and of course you've taken up the challenge. And to make it more lively, perhaps if you had interspersed it, and research also involves that you give certain companies how they dealt with customer complaints and how it helped. Another thing that was left out was primary research. You could have spoken to some of the salespeople and seen how they look at complaints and dealt with it, and especially if you had got someone who put it as a gift and did something. That would have added more value to your speech, overall speech. But nonetheless, you gave us great tips on how to look at complaints, gave a positive view, and overall, it came off well. Keep these points in mind, a little, examples and personal research. And another thing you had left out, your source of the data. And that is very essential in research so that people can go back, and if they want to read more on that, they could, refer to from where you got it. But thank you for giving us this wonderful insight into complaints as a gift. Well done, and looking forward to better data.
Thank you, Sumitra, for that clinical evaluation. I asked my teacher once, what's the difference between research and plagiarism? He said, if you copy from one source, it is plagiarism. If you copy from several sources, it is research. So, I think so, Gangaadhar, a great job done. But what I think, Gangaadhar, you should do is, since you are a customer service expert, and all your speeches center on customer service, complaint, might be maybe you should challenge yourself beginning today to have a little more varied topics rather than only talk on customer research. Maybe a book you made it into 10 chapters and those are the 10 preaches for your project from level 1 to level 5. So I think so we'll buy your book, whatever. So we would love to hear something else from you, Gangaadhar, but if you want to continue with this, please I'm not telling you anything correct. I have no complaints. Okay? Thank you so much, Gangaadhar. And last but not the least, the person who said, am I breathing? Are you all breathing now? I know you are feeling hungry, but you all can't go home now. So we'll keep moving and we'll ask Vijay Kalkundri to evaluate the next speech.
So we just changed the calendar year, we just changed the term, and what a great way to start the year with a topic which is very relevant, change. Mr. General Director and my target speaker, Toastmaster Vishal in particular. Good evening.
Good evening.
So change is such a very important aspect of all of our lives. And today the target speaker, Toastmaster Vishal, was here with an objective to create a change management plan and share the details. And his speech actually touched all the aspects of what a change is required in anyone's life. It demonstrated it by using rich quotes. Change is a spice of life. And then there was a clarity of thought. Like he knew that he had to demonstrate how he's going to bring change in his life so that he can achieve his target goal of becoming unshakable in life. So what was so very, very good, done exceptionally well was his voice modulation, which was top notch. So how you do that aspect very well. Whenever he was sad, he took a few steps back to say that and reduce the tone so that he can communicate that he was sad. Whenever he was excited, he increased the volume of his voice so that he could communicate that he was actually happy. But having said that, now you being in level 4, you being a very, very accomplished speaker on this stage, I'd like to give a few suggestions which can help you take your speech to the next level. So you had a good acronym called ASK, where you wanted to communicate what is the change plan that you wanted to bring. But you did not summarize it at the end. There was a great amount of opening, there was a small touch to the change plan, and then you concluded. So you could have started it much before on the change management plan, but your introduction was so huge that you were left with very less time to talk on the ask and the summarization. That could have been one aspect which you could look into. Second aspect was better organization. There was a lot of introduction. There was an instance, small instance, and there was an instance which was brought towards the end of the speech. So those instance organizations in your speech can be done in such a way that it can actually stick to the main objective of your speech. That can be one aspect what you can look at. But having said that, what are the things you did top notch in your speech? So audience awareness. The speech topic was very relevant and which people could connect to. That was done very well. The comfort level, you being a passionate speaker on the change and where you want to head in your life, it was brought out very well. And the dressing for the occasion, it makes very sense. You are dressed like you were going into the army. But having said that, if I had to conclude, there are 4 kinds of change. The first, people who do not change, they perish. People who change after the change struggle. But people who change are the ones who survive. But people who are responsible for the change are going to be champions. And you were a champion speaker today. That
the man who went to a hotel and he said to the monk over there, the monk went to, okay, let's forget about that, I'm getting confused with all that. Because Vijay put me on right and I'm getting worried about the time also. But I think so, Vishal, it was a great speech. You talked about change. What I felt a little bit, Vishal, was that might be your change management not only applies to you but also to your team. And I think so the project guidelines ask you to talk about change management, about a team and what you did. But you talked about yourself, but it's a great way, and I think so you're unshakable. So please give him a big round of applause. I think so Somashekar might have gone, he told me, but I think so it was one of the most brilliantly conducted table topics, having 3 boxes, very innovative, talking about his wife and the tiger and the mother-in-law. I hope I wasn't displaced, right? So it was very, very well done and excellently carried out. Just a little bit tidbit here, adding a little humor there, putting everything in perspective was wonderful. The only thing which I thought Soma could have done better might be when he started off, he shouldn't have told everybody to read all the points, because when I started reading the people started reading the topics, 4 lines, this. I was wondering how come he's giving such long topics. Might be right from the beginning if he would have told them that only read the first line, it would have been a little better. But anyway, the table topic speakers, I want to talk about a few of them. Very interesting ones. One, Shashank, I think so brilliant, Shashank. That's the art of bluffing, that's why he's going down as MBA. 2020 he went for 3 days. In the peak of Corona, I don't know how he went. And he defied all the bans. When my wife asked me to take me to some place, I told, where you want to go? She said, wherever nobody has gone before. Wherever you've never taken me before. I took her to the kitchen. But whatever. So, I think so, Shashank gave a great topic, well done. Saloni, your husband wants to burn crackers when somebody dies. Next time, make him sit down and burn the cracker behind him. He'll never burn crackers in his life. Then we had Puneet. My God, wonderful. He went and he said, this is mine, and he went up to the girl and he asked her for the number. And imagine that stupid girl gave him the number. No wonder he didn't get your jokes. Very stupid. First time you go and figure that. Really. I mean, it was it's out of the world. And then we had Jeevan. You eat pizza and you get food poisoning. I ate pizza, I wasn't the sorry for some other reason. Correct? Not for whoever. But otherwise, I think so. All the people did their job well, the topics were well arranged, everything was done properly, and we had a great table topic session. So please give everybody a big round of applause. Last but not the least, we have our tag team. So we will start off with the timer, Ajay.
All of them were well within their time. Basically, the meeting started at 6:30, but we may be a little bit delayed by late evening. Most of it was fine.
Thank you so much. We have our art counter, Robinson sir.
I could report Jordan 4 hours here. And one phrase you repeated. Once you said and, which was not necessary. Gangaadhar 1 hour. Abhay so then and twice. Kolappan so you repeated good twice. Chirag so 3 times, 4 times, and once. You know, it was not necessary. Himani, but, yeah, 9 times. Akash, so 2 times. Alok, I think 3 times. Puneet, yeah, twice. Jeevan, then again, yeah. George, so, yeah, but 3 times. Aditya, once, last 2 times, then you said the. Rahul, where are you? You said so repeatedly. Thank you, sir.
Rashi was the remaining.
We had amazing usage of the English language. A few of the examples are deconstructing your disappointments, burn the midnight fuel,
inevitability of my weaknesses, complaints are a gift, change is the spice of life but sometimes gets too spicy, final nail in the coffin, iota of tiredness, ideation faces hardcore but hilarious, started off pensively, touch of nervous energy, onwards and upwards, and the not so good usages were very few. So many space would have been much space. We will became sustainable, should have been we will become sustainable. Less time saving, it is the same meaning, so you could have just said time saving. And in my knowledge, word of the day was not used by anyone. So even the greatest was once a beginner. I hope all of you start using the word of the day in the Toastmasters meeting and in your life in general to improve your vocabulary.
When I was teaching in my previous college, Jain College, we used to teach the sports students and other students, and as a teacher of organizational behavior, I used to make them give presentations on role models, their sports role models, their life role models, and then try and bring about what personality traits they can copy from them. And it used to be a good exercise for me also, because I used to look at what personality traits I am lacking at and see where I can develop. And there were these two boys in my class who used to tell, sir, one of them did a presentation on Tendulkar, one of them did a presentation on Rahul Dravid, and said, sir, we can never become like them. Sir, we are so great, we are just small cricketers. And I used to always tell them one thing, never compare your beginning with somebody's end. Sachin Tendulkar might have started even worse than you. He started playing gully cricket, at least you are playing for the college. The other boys said, no sir, how will I become like Rahul? Never ever compare your beginning with somebody's end, because their end and their beginning might be much, much worse than yours. I don't know what happened, but they both took my work seriously and both went on to play for India at some point of the time or the other. One was Manish Pandey and one was Mayank Agarwal. Both of them went on. So every beginner should never compare their beginning with somebody's end. You can't be Abdul Kalam, but Abdul Kalam's beginning was much, much worse than you. You cannot become the greatest Toastmaster president, but you might start with as a member. So with that thought, let me hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Karunakar Dev. Thank you.
For a fantastic evaluation, what do we give him and his The voting link for the meeting has been shared in the group. The password is begin. Kindly note only one voting per person is allowed. Okay, moving on. For concluding remarks and to give away the award, we call upon the President Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karunakar, for tying this entire meeting so wonderfully, filled with energy and fun. Let's give our Toastmaster Day a huge round of applause. I would also like to thank all the role takers who have contributed for this meeting and made this one of a memorable and a fun-filled meeting. Let's give a huge round of applause to all our role takers. Last Saturday, that is the 30th of December, we had our installation ceremony. And during our installation ceremony, we do award members who have been the best term for respective roles for that respective term. And I would like to call our founder member, Toastmaster Robinson sir, to give away one of the awards which we couldn't be present last week. The Best Role Taker Award for the term July-December goes to Aranha.
Everyone wants a lead.
Without further delay, I will move on to the award section. The Best Table Topic Speaker Award goes to Toastmaster, our immediate past president, Toastmaster Vishal.
Where's the proof? Proof of the pudding.
The best auxiliary role taker award goes to the ever energetic Toastmaster Rashi. The best role taker award goes to, he's never saying whenever he comes on the stage, he always wins. So the best role taker award goes to none other than a general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster, Rajdeep. The best evaluator award goes to, who just received the best role taker award, Toastmaster Aranha. The best speaker award for today's meeting goes to someone who is planning to bring in change. Toastmaster Vishal. I would like to thank each one of you for being here. And without further delay, I now adjourn today's meeting.